Hello. You know those news reports you see in newspapers, and it shows a photograph of an obvious man wearing a wig and lipstick, and underneath the photograph is, or above the photograph rather, is the headline, something like "Brighton woman convicted of..." Right, I have to be careful about my wording here because of YouTube, but convicted of a certain sort of crime involving a certain age group of the population. Okay, and the fact that this is obviously a man does not stop the newspaper from referring to this criminal as she throughout the article. You know those. Well, I want to show you another example of something else. Not exactly the same, but, well, you'll see what I mean. But this is to do with this man here who carved his name and his girlfriend's name into the bricks of the Colosseum. Oh, just to let everyone know, they're there. Right, before I tell you more about this gentleman here, who is in the Daily Beast referred to as one of those Brits behaving badly, I shall tell you that I am Granniopteryx. I'm on YouTube, Rumble, BitChute and Minds. I'm also on Twitter and Gab, where I let you know that I've uploaded a new video. There are links to all of those platforms in the description, and there are also links to donation sites if you want to use them. But if you don't, the best thing you can do for this video and my channel is click that like button and then share the video and subscribe. Just make sure that you are subscribed. If you're on YouTube, that's not a given. Okay, let's talk about this. This is the report in the Daily Beast. Italian authorities identified tourists caught defacing Roman Colosseum, and then Brits behaving badly. And it shows a picture of him. Fortunately, an American tourist saw this and videoed him and swore at him as well. And good for him. Really, thank you. Anyway, Italian authorities say they know the identity of the man caught on video recently, etching his and his paramour's name into the ancient walls of the Colosseum in Rome. I like the use of paramour there. Haven't seen that for a long time. Very posh Daily Beast. Okay, another tourist recorded the man beaming. Oh, he probably felt so good about himself, didn't he? As he hacked the words Ivan plus Haley 23. Now, the 23 here is probably the year that he's referring to and not his age, because his age is obviously under 13. In a tweet noting that the police had identified the culprit as British tourist, Italian Culture Minister Gennaro Sangiuliano confirmed that the pair are indeed named Ivan and Haley. Sangiuliano indicated the case would likely go to trial, good, and called it an act that offended everyone across the globe who appreciate the value of archaeology, of monuments and of history. Now, this is the important bit here. Everyone who appreciate the value of archaeology, of monuments and of history. Now, this fellow here obviously does neither, does none of those things. He has no appreciation of the value of this monument or of history, or of archaeology indeed. So I want to find out more about this fellow, and I found this on the BBC. Man who carved names on ancient Rome amphitheatre is UK tourist. Okay, everybody is dashing to blame Brit. Let's see who this man is. Well, first of all, it says they live in Bristol. Bristol doesn't have a stellar reputation for appreciating monuments, do they? The last I heard of Bristol, they were chucking statues into the bay, weren't they? But apart from the bad example of being from Bristol, the BBC says nothing more about this man. It's only when we get to the Independent that we find some more information. And he was from Bulgaria, it says here. So possibly not even a Brit. The tourist who caused outrage in Italy after carving names into a wall of the Colosseum must be identified as a British fitness trainer, so I'm assuming he has a British passport. He's been identified as Ivan Dimitrov, a 27-year-old fitness instructor and delivery driver who is originally from Bulgaria and lives in Bristol. So I still don't know whether he's just living here or he is actually a British citizen. But he's from Bulgaria. Now, I'm not saying that Brits don't behave badly abroad. They do. But in this case, you might regard a cultural problem here of somebody from Bulgaria. It's no fault of the Bulgarians that they were swamped by the Ottoman Empire 500 years ago or so. And I just want to show you a little article here about what the Ottoman Empire did. Apart from the fact that it actually took many of the Bulgarians as slaves, it forcibly converted many of them to Islam, and it completely, it said here, ruthlessly destroyed all Bulgarian state and religious structures. It knocked everything down because when Islam takes over a country, one of the first things it does is destroys the history so that these people don't have any history before Islam. And a lot of religions do that. It's not just Islam, it's just that we are more aware of what Islam did. And that's why Bulgarian might not have too much respect for history, because the government that was governing his country for many hundreds of years had no respect for history, had no respect for monuments, had no respect for the old ways of doing things. They were going to impose Islam and Islamic history on Bulgaria, and everything before that was before year zero. The Cambodians did that as well. I mean, it's a common enough phenomenon. Yeah, in Britain too, they destroyed the old religions when Christianity took over Britain. All the old religions and the old shrines were destroyed. But this is one thing we know about, and this is the result. People who don't understand history or archaeology or, national heritage. Because there's very little national heritage in Bulgaria now. There's a sort of cobbled together Muslim thing which didn't quite work either. So that's what happened there. But the fact that he's immediately referred to as a British citizen behaving badly, I think that is somewhat unfair. And of course, half the context. But then, of course, anything that a British white man does is going to be wrong, and the opportunity to convince British white men that they're a bunch of vandals and yahoos is just irresistible. Well, the Daily Beast might have been getting half the story, but we've got here the BBC, and the first thing they talk about is the fact that he's from the UK. The first thing, that's, like throwing a steak to a hungry wolf, isn't it? Yes, he should be prosecuted. He's done a horrible thing, terrible thing, and there's definitely no reason to let him off on that one. But a British tourist, maybe not so much. Okay, till next time. Why not treat yourself or a favoured relative or friend to these magnificent examples of merch? The mugs and t-shirts come in the granniopteryx design or Granbo with a firearm or the more deadly knitting needles. Go to www.granniopteryx.com and whatever platform you're watching this on, please click like, subscribe and share.